Hi, I'm Mike Farrell. Welcome to World Travel's new online series, bringing you updates on airlines, hotels, car rentals, all things travel as we emerge from COVID-19. Let's go. Hi, welcome to another edition of Let's Go. Today we have Tom Grisson, the CEO of Dayon, talking to us about digital health passports. Digital health passports are not just a buzzword in the industry, it is an initiative and a platform that is certainly taking off. Welcome, Tom.
That's great to be here. Thanks for the opportunity to be part of this important session.
All right, let's kick it off with just a little bit of an introduction on your role as CEO at Dayon and a little bit about yourself.
Excellent. I've had a chance to lead Dayon for over 15 years. We're a digital security software company. More recently, we became very involved in travel, trying to make a more seamless and convenient travel experience. We're also trying most currently to untangle the whole challenges tied with COVID and to make travel easier for everybody so they can get to where they want to go.
Excellent, thank you. So let's start with the basics. Let's define digital health passport.
I think a good place to start is what the goal of a digital health passport is. And the goal is to make people feel safe enough to resume the normal everyday travel that they have. It is also important from the authorities that in destination countries or whatever venue to make sure that they have an idea that there's an official digital record, a health record, that they can rely on that includes some elements of a COVID history, such as a PCR test, a proof of vaccine, that helps them determine that this person is a low risk carrier of the virus.
Tom, as a follow-up to that first question, let's talk about initial adopters to the program. What have you seen in your organization?
Sure, the first adopters that have really turned to digital health credentials at scale are the airlines. And so they wanted to make it far easier for travelers to know the destination requirements of the countries they want to visit and to make sure before they left their homes that they knew they met all those destination requirements.
Tom, this next question is around the challenges that you may have faced. As we know, COVID came on so quickly in the world and initiatives like Digital Health Passport had to be implemented rather quickly throughout the globe. What challenges did you face in that?
Yeah, it's a great question. We spent a week side by side with American down in Miami, just watching the challenges that travelers had, what the team at the ticket counters faced, trying to handle paper-based credentials, have travelers trying to understand the destination requirements. Some of them got it wrong. And we want obviously everybody to have a successful journey. Once we understood those, we co-created the solution in a way that serve the needs of this business and this marketplace. We set up some foundational principles when we started VeriFLY, and we did that in collaboration with our partners, in particular American shaped those, but they started on privacy and security of the data, so the traveler knows that they're always in possession of their data and no one else. That was a very important principle that we adhere to. Another one was to be inclusive. We didn't want to only think about the traveling public as those travelers that happen to have electronic integration with a lab where they could get a COVID test. We want to allow any traveler who wanted to take a trip to be able to either integrate with a lab or to upload their travel test results to us where we could confirm that they met the destination requirements. So, and I'd say the third one is just a policy. One thing is to tackle technology. Another thing is to keep current on all the policy. So as you can imagine, with all those travel destinations and all those flights a day, we are very diligent in ensuring that we meet the policy requirements of a destination country. And that took a big commitment. And I think it's essential for any apps in this place to really work effectively on a global scale.
I know you have over 500 million users right now, 700,000 users, which is it's phenomenal for the program. Share with our audience, what are you hearing from your audience What can we learn more about the program from their voice?
Yeah, everybody's eager to return to a more normal life. I think that people recognize that digital tools are going to be important to that. We're all very intolerant of friction. We don't want to be slowed down. We want to be on the move. And so I think that feeling of being able to go through a travel process, be certain that you know what to expect, to be able to have confidence that it's going to occur in the way you expect it, and then to have it be streamlined through the airport and your arrival are all important parts of getting it right.
Tom, let's talk now more on a broad scale in the industry. We do have a number of entrants into this space. How do our travelers, how do our customers navigate the multiple options with respect to digital health passports? And what are some of the tips you would provide for them?
Yeah, I think we're going to see there's not going to be a single pass that's used around the world. It's just not going to happen that way. So there's going to be a handful of apps that travelers rely on and those that they have good experiences with. And so I believe that will be the future. I would encourage travelers to download VeriFLY, to try it. Every single time somebody gives us feedback, we incorporate it in our product plans and roadmap. We discuss everything with our airline partners and also our cruise ship partners. We also have event partners in sports, and they're reopening venues. And so any of that feedback is incredibly valuable for us. I also think that once you go through the experience, you'll see more and more dedicated lanes around the world for VeriFLY. I also think you'll see more countries accepting VeriFLY and select other digital health apps as a trusted credential. So when you arrive, you don't have immigration's departments looking at paper-based health forms.
Tom, thanks so much for that answer. I appreciate it. As you mentioned, there are a lot of options out there for apps. What is the value proposition? What are the value-add components that VeriFLY brings to the space?
So one of the key foundations is trust. That is within the design, fundamental design criteria, founding principles of our technology. So I think trust is a hugely important thing. What we send back to our airline partners, and using American as an example, is simply a digital signal that says, yep, this traveler gets a green check and they meet the destination requirements. And then American would allow you to check in online. So it's a really important trusted step that occurs between the parties.
Thank you. You provided a wealth of information for our audience. I know they are very hungry to learn more about digital health passports, so thank you for sharing your knowledge with them. What I'd like to do with all of our episodes is to sum up our experience today in three main topics that we talked about. First one, you need to adopt in some of the technology that is out there and available for you. Digital health passports through VeriFLY is one of those options. The second, we've talked about in many of our episodes already, and that is cadence of adaptability. You and your travelers need to have that cadence of adaptability as we evolve from COVID and as we move to new things in our travel experience, whether it's an app like VeriFLY or whether it's a change in your check-in process at the hotel. We need to, as an industry, have a cadence of adaptability throughout that. And the third point I want to make today speaks highly of DAON and the innovation that they've put in place. We partner with organizations, with companies, with partners like American Airlines, with partners like VeriFLY, who will allow us to continue our innovative push to you, our customers, to make sure that you are not only both educated about that new innovation, but also comfortable. Tom talked a lot about trust. We partner with VeriFLY and with American Airlines because we trust them. We ask you to trust that relationship that we have and allow us to provide you the services that both you and your travelers need for an optimal travel experience. So Tom, thank you very much. You've been great today. Really appreciate it. So from us to you, let's go.